is some days price stays between the ranges, COTMC and COTMP. Other days it's way above or way below. Now, the days that it's way above and way below, we generally associate with a lot of gapping, right? So something has gone on, and typically in the futures market, you may see the ES has jumped up a dramatic amount or dropped down a dramatic amount well below those levels. So remember, the options in the US, the majority of them don't transact in volume, at least in liquidity, until cash market hours, which are 9:30 New York time to 4 p.m. So once you have adjusted in futures one way or the other, there's generally a lot of deltas sloshing around right after the open. And those deltas completely overwhelm this structure. And that can be prices have gapped up, prices have gapped down, whatever the case may be. And we tend to see the COTMC and COTM levels get violated in those major events, those major gap ups. So why that's important, and I think goes towards her first part of her question here, when you're way above or way below, something else has happened in the market. It's not just the normal structures. So could be a noise event, some sort of news coming in, whatever the case may be. Could be some major adjustments in the futures have occurred, combination of both, whatever the case may be. So if you're using the pre-market value, and Mike, I'd like you to weigh in here too, but if you're using the pre-market values and you see you're significantly above one or below the other, then chances are, you're going to open, you're going to gap down, and you're going to have to wait for the new calculations. You're going to wait for the noise to kind of settle the dust. You're going to want those first volume bars that come in for, I tend to look at maybe the first 10 to 20 minutes, and it's just hands off, right? I tend not to trade, except for P2P. I tend not to trade options in that first, what I call amateur hour or first amateur opening, right? It's just where everybody's just sloshing around and trying to get some position in on the day. So in that particular case, COTMP and COTMC, the wheels fall off the wagon, and it's not going to be reliable for you until the dust settles. And then I tend to take that first run that we get in TradingView, or I just run $S, right? Because I'm focusing most on SPX, and we go from there, right? So I think that's probably an approach here. Let me pause, Mike. We can talk about the second part of her question about reliable, but how do you handle that initial? We're kind of 5 points above, 10 points above in the morning, and it's fine. We're within the ranges, but then there are some days where we're just way above or way below.
Yeah, usually when you're seeing those large gaps, those will be increased volatility days, at least from what I've noticed, just because you're gapping away from that OTM call speculation, right? So there's usually going to be, and again, that's usually associated with a news event, but that's the way I look at it. So, and for me, if we're not opening, we talk about this sentiment, structure, and trend, but the sentiment and structure, sorry, my thing there. But if you're gapping away from transition or you're gapping away from our key gamma delta levels, then obviously our edge is completely reduced about where we want to look and manage our trades. So for me, that's kind of a take notice. If we're gapping way above or way below, it's like, okay, there's going to be something off balance at the open, whether that's the call speculators are going to be offsides or the puts are going to be offsides. So you're going to have some sort of most likely balance, like you're talking about, or some sort of movement. So that's the way I personally look at it. It's kind of like a, red light for me, or yellow light saying, hey, like you said, there's something off here. So let's be a little bit more patient with our trading. And we may not have an edge that day. Right. Our edge may be reduced because it's uncertainty in the market. It's like when transition expands, there's uncertainty in the market, right? So get smaller, be more patient, and because your edge may be not as well defined. So that's basically how I look at it. So.
No, I think that's right. I'm gonna